Welcome to Elaine Clark VO Real Talking Tips, where it's all about communication. I'm the author of There's Money Where Your Mouth Is, a complete insider's guide to earning income and building a career in voiceovers, and Voiceovers for Podcasting, how to develop a career and make a profit. I'm also the creator of 2 Elaine Clark apps, Activate Your Voice, 5-minute exercises to strengthen your speaking voice, and Adding Melody to Your Voice, speech improvement instruction and workout. This first series of micro-learning lessons is 52 weeks, so subscribe and tune in each week to Real Talking Tips for a new communication lesson. Episode 19. Add tempo changes, slow, medium, and fast. Slow, medium, fast. Why do public speakers, presenters, and voice actors have a tendency to speak at a steady pace and rhythm? I'm Elaine Clark, host and creator of the Real Talking Tips podcast, where I offer practical advice on how to effectively deliver your message and speak like a pro. In regular conversation, people vary their speaking pace. Important information is slower. Unimportant information is fast. And normal information is spoken at a medium pace. Yet, most people tend to get trapped and forget to add variety to their voice when they're giving a presentation, speech, or recording a script. That's the result of reading conditioning. Long ago, before radio became a form of entertainment, many schools taught elocution. Children in those schools were coached and instructed in reading poetry and literature aloud with clear and expressive language, as this was a form of entertainment for family and friends. In the 1920s, radio broadcasting became popular, and the need for creative and engaging speaking instruction fell out of favor. Since then, most students have been instructed to read silently at their desks. And when selected to read aloud, few, if any, were given pointers on how to read in a more conversational manner, especially in the younger years. Teachers and parents were thrilled that we could look at a book and see Jane run, and then form the words, "Run, Jane, run." Fortunately, all is not lost in expressive speech and sounding real and conversational. One approach is to break out of steady speech patterns and add vocal variety. Sentence structure and tempo changes, subject, verb, object, and throwaways. Let's spend a moment in the melody and tempo section of my book, There's Money Where Your Mouth Is, with these sentence structure examples. Independent clause, subject and verb. I got it. Dependent clause needs the independent clause in addition to the subject and verb. I got it as I walked over to the counter. Simple sentence, subject, verb, and independent clause. I got it and gave it to a friend. Compound sentence, 2 or more independent clauses joined together by but, and, yet, or, nor, for, sometimes, conjunctions. I got it, but I knew that. Complex sentence, independent clause and 1 or more dependent clauses joined by a subordinating conjunction. When, where, while, before, until, as, since, if, etc. Or a relative pronoun, that, which, who, whom, whose. I got it when Jane told me the answer to the question. Compound complex sentence, 2 or more independent clauses and 1 or more dependent clauses. I got it on Friday, and Jane learned it on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, since there was a lot to learn before the test. Okay, it's time to do the pacing hand jive. What does that mean? Remember when we worked on storytelling, verbs, nouns, and sentence balancing in Real Talking Tips episodes 13 through 16? Visualization, movement, location, and emphasis impact the speech pace and timing. How we move and gesture does too. Bear with me now as you imagine yourself as stereo speakers. If you gesture to the right speaker is more prominent. Gesture to the left, the sound focus changes to the left speaker. If you gesture with both hands, you get stereo sound where the right and left speakers are evenly balanced. Gesturing with two hands not only adds more weight and support to the voice, but the added movement slows down the pace. Therefore, important words and phrases are billboarded when two hands gesture equally. Then one speaker, or right or left hand, is either spoken at a medium speed or faster. Time for you to practice and shake up the speech pattern. Obviously, there are numerous sentence structures. For this demonstration and homework assignment, you'll use the same sentence with 3 different rhythms and focus. I'll use 2 hands for the important information, 1 hand for medium speed focus, and the other hand for faster, less important information. While the system appears simple, it's much harder than one thinks to become wired for sound. Practice these lines and other sentences using these tempo-changing gestures until your body instinctively knows what to do. Otherwise, this information is nice book learning, but not ingrained in your muscle memory. Here we go. Listen to the different ways to say the same thing. I got it when Jane told me the answer to the question. I got it when Jane told me the answer to the question. I got it when Jane told me the answer to the question. Now it's your turn. Move, read, speak, present, record, practice. I encourage you to keep improving your speech communication by watching and listening to this podcast and reading and practicing along with the Real Talking Tips blog and my books and apps. I'd appreciate it if you take a moment to like, download, share, tweet, pin, ring the bell, or follow. If you're so inclined, add a positive review or comment too. As part of the Real Talking Tips community, let's work together to improve your speech communication skills, and others too. Thanks for joining me on the Real Talking Tips podcast. To find out more, check out my books and apps and visit my website, ElaineClarkVO.com. Let's stay in touch. Become part of the Real Talking Tips community. Hit the subscribe button and use #RealTalkingTips, #ElaineClarkVO. You can also follow me on Twitter @ElaineClarkVO, Instagram ElaineClark.VO, and Facebook Elaine Clark Apps and Books. And don't forget to practice. It's all about communication. Go ahead, click the subscribe button.